What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over my favorite things, the positives and the negatives about being a diesel truck owner and daily driving a 3/4 ton diesel truck. As y'all know, I am brand new to the world of diesel trucks, and so far I really honestly love it. Number one on my list of favorite things and positives is I love the smell of an idling diesel in the morning. I don't know what it is, it's just some kind of like nostalgia from being back in school, smelling the old school buses, idling in the morning. I don't know, especially on a day like today where it's like 40 degrees, enough for just like a hoodie, a light coat, shorts. You got your diesel idling here in the driveway, sounding good, smelling good. I think that's just one of my definite top favorites about a diesel. I just love the sound, love the smell. I've been wanting to own one for like 10 years. We're finally at that point. I finally got one, and I couldn't be any more happy. A little cheat code here: left, right, up. We will fold out our Boost Auto Parts power folding tow mirrors. Be sure you get you some if you need some. These things are an absolute life changer. BoostAutoParts.com. Tell them Badgie71 sent you. But yeah, here we are. In case you don't know, my truck is a 2012 GMC Sierra 2500 Denali with the 6.6 LML Duramax, and yes, it does have the exhaust work done. So that is number two here in my favorites. Doing that job was super easy. I do have another video about that coming out probably later, but it was super easy and highly recommend, and it made this truck just so much more alive, and I love every minute of it. The driving, the experience of driving it is just so much different than it was when it was fully stock, and it's hard to beat a truck with exhaust work like that done. You know, it's definitely something you got to do. So you guys might be looking at me thinking, hey, you're pulling out of a residential area. You don't live on a farm or work construction or, you know, do really anything that requires owning a 3/4 ton diesel pickup. And yeah, that's absolutely true. I don't actually need this truck at all. It's just a want. I've been, like I said, I've been wanting a diesel pickup probably since high school. I graduated high school in 2011. So yeah, it's been something I wanted to cross off of my list for a long time. We are adding this Duramax content in because it is another truck. This is another truck build, and you know, it's a daily driver. Yeah, I will be driving this truck every single day, back and forth to work, you know, from work, road trips, whatever. And it's going to be, you know, the new build added on to the channel, and I can't wait to pair that up with the OBS. So that being said, one of the other reasons that I got this truck was it's actually, you know, a plan for me to buy a trailer. I would like to buy a trailer of some sort, something where I could load the OBS up onto that trailer and take it to shows, because I eventually want to be able to travel, you know, to shows like you know, maybe Lone Star Throwdown at some point, or Music City Showdown in Tennessee, you know, Atlantic City, you know, stuff like that. Stuff just to kind of open up and broaden the truck shows that I go to, the experiences, you know, meeting new people, stuff like that. So we're just moving up and you know, just growing and making things better. So daily driving a diesel truck is just a little bit different, but not too terribly different than daily driving a gas vehicle. Obviously, the first things first is fuel is going to be a little bit more expensive. This thing has like a 36-gallon tank, and diesel's been running, you know, pretty much anywhere from, you know, 319, you know, to 306. Sometimes it hits at 299, which is a good day. But yeah, that's going to be more expensive. But on the flip side of that, the fuel lasts a lot longer. I average usually about 20 miles per gallon in this truck right now. You know, if I'm not playing around with it, or, you know, anything heavy, if I'm just driving it like a normal truck, it does get really good fuel mileage for a heavy 3/4 ton truck, which is, you know, one of the big reasons why I got it. Yeah, you know, the things are a little bit more expensive. Parts are going to be a little bit more expensive. When we get around to like injectors and stuff, that's going to be a pretty hefty price tag. Glow plugs are a little bit more expensive compared to spark plugs and stuff like that. When we were doing the exhaust work, broke a clamp, and that exhaust clamp ended up being $70 for a Dorman exhaust clamp. Not even the OE exhaust clamp, Dorman. Ended up being $70 to replace that clamp. So yeah, things are just a little bit more expensive in the world of diesel trucks, but yeah, that's kind of something that getting into it. I knew that it was going to be more expensive getting into it, so that wasn't a huge concern. So yeah, the expense is kind of a negative, but like I said, it kind of comes with the territory of owning a diesel truck. So let's go ahead and get on to the positives. The positives of the diesel is the high torque, high power, usually fairly decently high horsepower, and it's really easy to add power to them. Now, it might not necessarily be the cheapest thing in the world to add power to them, but you can do it basically with a programmer, exhaust kits, stuff like that. Then you can move on to things like a bigger turbo, bigger injectors, all that kind of stuff. And yes, it does all come with a price, but it would be worth it completely in the end to have a higher performance vehicle. And it's going to be able to haul anything, pull anything. If you really want to race it, you could probably race it. People do that. People build race diesels and have fun with them in that direction. This particular body style has been really easy to customize and make it look pretty good. Just the headlights, the fog lights, the mirrors, update the cab lights, stuff like that. The previous owner actually put this truck on 305s, so basically 33-inch tires, so not the stock size with these wheels, but I think it really looks pretty good, especially with not having to have a lift kit on the truck. And of course, these trucks are big as it is. Newer trucks just are bigger than what I'm used to as far as my older truck. And you add a lift kit to this thing, even just a 4-inch lift kit is going to make this thing fairly big compared to what it is now. So basically, my pros to owning and daily driving a diesel is the fact that it gets really good fuel economy for being a full-sized 4-door pickup truck. The power, the ease of adding power, the comfort, and really just the ability that I know that I could pretty much go or do what I want. I could haul what I want. It's 4-wheel drive, so I'm going to be able to get around in the weather. I can go where I want, and I really don't have to worry about it. Diesel engines also last a long time compared to gas engines. I've seen people with diesels up to like 1 million+ miles on their engine. Of course, you're going to have like an overhaul and stuff like that, but the longevity of the engine is a huge factor when it comes to diesel trucks as compared to the gas trucks. Not to mention the Allison transmission in these trucks really just helps out a lot compared to the transmissions in other brands. Negatives are going to be probably prices of fuel. Fuel is always, for some odd reason, going to be more expensive on a diesel. I don't know why, don't really understand it, but it's just always been that way. So fuel cost of parts are going to be a lot more. Some jobs are going to be really difficult. You're going to have to take apart a lot of the truck, a lot of the engine to get to certain things that you want to upgrade. And, that's really honestly just about it. As far as what I've realized as of right now, just after driving it for 3 months, like I said, there's not a huge amount of negativity that I could see. The negativity in this particular body style, I think, is going to be leak points. The windshield and the cab lights kind of have a leak. The area back here around the back glass had a little bit of a leak. The third brake light kind of had a little bit of a leak, but since I changed that out and sealed up some issue holes that would really potentially cause leaking problems, really haven't had any issues. So just like anything else, you just kind of have to work out the quirks, work out the bugs, and you really fine-tune the thing and find out what it needs and give it just a little bit of TLC. It is a 2012, so it's going to need a little bit of TLC, but as of right now, guys, I'm loving this truck. I'm loving doing things to it. I can't wait for things in the future, such as a bigger turbo, bigger injectors, all the cool powder coated piping and stuff like that. So anyway, all that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video and you kind of get my input on owning a diesel truck and being a first-time diesel owner and daily driving this truck. If you're on the fence about getting a diesel truck, just make sure you kind of weigh your, what you want. What are you wanting it for? Are you just wanting it just to have it? Are you gonna potentially use it for really what it's made for in the future? Just if you're kind of on the fence, just maybe just dive in and do it. Sometimes you just need to take that leap and just dive in and do something a little bit different, and figure out if you really like it or if you really don't. If you don't like it, you could always sell it. Diesels, that they hold their value, they really do. And especially depends on what states you're in. Here in Missouri, they are like gold. They hold their value extremely well. So if you would, feel free to drop a like on this video. Likes are always appreciated. Subscribe down below for future content. Lots more stuff coming up with the Duramax and with the OBS. And feel free to follow my socials, which will be listed down in the description below. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next video.